The Psychology of Money, Valuable Lessons from Morgan Housel's book. Have you ever heard the story of Ronald Read, the janitor who accumulated $8 million over his lifetime when he passed away in 2014? Interestingly, Ronald did not win the lottery nor inherit any wealth. He simply saved consistently over the years, letting the magic of compound interest work for him. This story proves that sometimes our behavior with money is more important than intelligence or financial knowledge. You don't need to attend Harvard or work on Wall Street to become wealthy. All you need is to act wisely and persistently on your financial journey. Morgan Housel's book. The Psychology of Money not only offers deep insights into money, but also helps us realize that financial success is not a hard science. It's a soft skill. How we behave with money is more important than what we know. In this book, Housel highlights that how we deal with market volatility, our ability to accept risk, and our patience in the face of losses are key factors that determine our financial success. One of the crucial lessons Housel shares is that we must pay the price for success. When investing, you will face volatility and tough times, but that's the cost you pay for long-term gains. For example, investing in Netflix when the company faced challenges in 2011 might have caused many to panic and worry. However, if you were patient, the rewards would have been worth it. This lesson emphasizes that patience and the ability to endure large fluctuations in the stock market are the keys to becoming wealthy. Furthermore, Housel stresses the importance of not feeling like you're never enough. We often compare ourselves to others and feel inadequate, even after achieving significant financial milestones. This can lead to poor decision-making and unnecessary risks. It's crucial to know when enough is enough and not trade what you already have for something you don't need. The Psychology of Money will help you understand more about the psychology of finance, how to handle market fluctuations, and how to build a solid investment strategy to achieve financial freedom in the future. Lesson 1. Pay the price, the value of patience in investing. In investing, there is one undeniable rule. You must pay the price to achieve success. Just like when you decide to buy a beautiful watch, you have to pay for it. Nothing is free. Investing works the same way. To achieve long-term profits, you will face volatility and risk. This is the price you must pay to enjoy wealth in the future. Morgan Housel, in his book, The Psychology of Money, points out that a successful investment strategy is not a smooth road. If you choose to invest in promising stocks like Netflix or an index fund like the S&P 500, you will go through periods of significant market downturns. For example, if you invested in Netflix in 2011, you might have seen the company's stock drop by up to 80% from its previous peak. In moments like this, you might feel desperate and worried about your future, but the key is whether you can stay patient and continue holding. The price you must pay is volatility. Just like when you buy an expensive watch, you need to accept that there will be times when you face difficulties in investing. However, if you remain patient and don't sell your stocks during market downturns, you will achieve positive results in the long term. It is this patience and the ability to endure volatility that helps you succeed and build lasting wealth. Lesson 2. Never enough. The feeling of inadequacy and the cost of competition. One of the biggest traps in financial life is the feeling of never being enough. We often compare ourselves to others and feel that even though we have achieved a good standard of living, we still fall short compared to those around us. Morgan Housel, in his book, The Psychology of Money, points out that this is one of the main reasons behind anxiety and poor decision-making in investing. Housel uses the example of a highly specialized doctor earning $500,000 per year. Despite being wealthy, when this doctor buys a vacation home in the Hamptons and discovers that his neighbor is a CEO making $10 million annually, the feeling of inadequacy starts to creep in. It doesn't end there. This CEO's childhood friend is Michael Jordan, whose fortune amounts to $2 billion. So, how can one ever feel enough when comparing oneself to people at such higher levels? This kind of competition can be a motivating force, pushing us to strive for more in our careers and achieve success. However, if we aren't careful, it can also leave us feeling like we're always lacking, even when we've already achieved a lot. Housel advises that we learn to know when enough is enough. and not let social comparison destroy our peace of mind and happiness. When you understand that your financial position is sufficient and you can feel content, you'll be able to make smarter investment decisions, no longer caught up in the endless race to acquire things you don't truly need. Lesson 3. Crazy is in the eye of the beholder. Understanding different perspectives on spending and money. One of the most important things in investing and managing finances is understanding that everyone has different perspectives and ways of spending money. We often judge the actions of others through our own lens, but in reality, what seems crazy or irrational to us may be completely logical to someone else. Morgan Housel, in his book The Psychology of Money, points out that what appears to be crazy to you might actually be a reasonable strategy for someone else. For example, lower-income households in the U.S. spend 4 times more on lottery tickets than higher-income groups. For these people, buying lottery tickets isn't just a game. It's their way of buying into a dream. The dream of a better life that seems out of reach through traditional means. Although it might sound crazy when you consider their circumstances, living paycheck to paycheck, struggling to save, unable to afford vacations or send their children to college without debt, you can understand the reasoning behind their actions. This also applies to investing. People with a higher risk tolerance, such as venture capitalists, might view investing in startups as a reasonable strategy, while others might see it as reckless. Recognizing that people have different circumstances and goals helps you avoid copying strategies that don't align with your own situation. In reality, each person has their own circle of competence, and not everything someone else does will work for you. When you acknowledge these differences, you'll find it easier to make sound financial and investment decisions that are right for you. Lesson 4. Peekaboo, the unpredictability of the future. One of the most significant challenges in investing is the sexte, unpredictability of the future. Major events such as the Great Depression, World War II, the financial crises, or even the COVID-19 pandemic have all shaped society and impacted the financial markets in ways that were impossible to foresee. These events, often referred to as black swans, are outliers that carry extreme consequences, and only after they happen do we try to make sense of them. Morgan Housel, in The Psychology of Money, emphasizes that trying to predict these events or respond to macroeconomic projections is a flawed strategy. Instead, he advocates for preparing mentally and financially for the disasters we cannot foresee. History has shown us time and again that events with massive implications often come without warning, leaving us scrambling to react. For instance, imagine the stock market crash on Black Monday 1987, when the market lost nearly a quarter of its value in a single day. How would you have reacted? Would you have panicked, shouting, "Sell, sell," or would you have stayed calm, perhaps even investing more, taking advantage of the downturn? Housel points out that if you had invested in the S&P 500 index 20 years ago but missed the A-Comp's 4 best-performing stock market days, your return would be significantly lower, 164%, instead of 291%. This stark difference underscores the importance of being prepared for unpredictable events rather than trying to time the market or predict future crashes. The key takeaway is to stop trying to foresee every disaster. Instead, build a resilient investment strategy that can weather unexpected storms. By doing so, you'll be better equipped to handle the inevitable volatility that lies ahead. Lesson 5. The Seduction of Pessimism. Why we're drawn to negative outlooks. One of the most fascinating aspects of human nature is our high tendency to be drawn to pessimism. Whether it's through news stories of impending economic collapse, warnings of a market crash, or the latest crisis, we tend to give far more weight to negative predictions than to positive ones. Morgan Housel, in The Psychology of Money, explores this psychological phenomenon and highlights how it shapes the way we view the financial world. The truth is, negativity is more captivating. Because of an evolutionary trait, our ancestors, who were more attuned to threats, had a better chance of survival. This loss aversion makes us more sensitive to potential risks and dangers, leading us to pay more attention to bad news. A pessimistic outlook seems rational, and we often find ourselves listening more closely to pessimists while dismissing optimists as naive. Housel provides a great example. If someone lists all the reasons why the market is poised to crash, talking about government debt, inflation, or new economic threats, many people would likely become worried and lose confidence in the market. On the other hand, if someone points out positive trends like the rising life expectancy, the decline in the cost of sustainable energy, or the growth of technology, people are more likely to shrug it off and not take it seriously. This bias toward pessimism is evident in our daily lives. We're more inclined to focus on setbacks and losses, even though progress often happens gradually and over longer periods of time. Understanding this tendency helps us make better decisions by recognizing the value of optimism. While it's important to acknowledge risks, we should also allow ourselves to embrace the possibilities of progress and growth. By doing so, we can avoid falling into the trap of always expecting the worst and instead position ourselves for long-term success. Conclusion: embracing the psychology of money for long-term success. In The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel presents profound insights into how our mindset, emotions, and behavior towards money significantly shape our financial futures. Rather than focusing solely on technical knowledge or complex financial strategies, Housel emphasizes the importance of soft skills in managing money. These soft skills are rooted in behavior, emotional control, and the ability to make rational decisions even in the face of uncertainty. One of the central messages of the book is that financial success is not just about intelligence or having the best information, it's about how we behave with our money. Housel argues that the most successful investors are often those who remain calm and patient during market volatility. The ability to tolerate risk and ride out periods of uncertainty without panicking is what sets apart the average investor from the truly successful one. The book dives into several important lessons, each offering valuable insights into our financial decision-making process. Lesson 1. Paying the price. Emphasizes that investing comes with a cost: volatility. To reap high returns, you must be prepared for moments when the value of your investments drops, sometimes significantly. For example, an investor who bought Netflix during its early years and weathered the stock's dramatic dips would be handsomely rewarded today. But this requires patience and resilience, key traits that Housel argues are essential for long-term financial growth. It's not about predicting the market's next move. It's about sticking to your strategy even when the market behaves unpredictably. Lesson 2. Never enough. Deals with the psychology of envy and comparison. We are constantly measuring our financial success against others. Whether it's a neighbor with a bigger house or a colleague earning more, it's easy to fall into the trap of never feeling enough. But Housel stresses the importance of learning to be content with what we have. Financial success isn't about constantly chasing more. It's about understanding what truly brings fulfillment and avoiding the dangers of comparing ourselves to others. It's important to recognize that no matter how much you achieve, there will always be someone further ahead, and accepting that is a key to emotional and financial peace. Lesson 3. Crazy is in the eye of the beholder. Speaks to the idea that what seems irrational to one person may be perfectly reasonable to someone else. People come from different backgrounds and financial situations, and what might seem like an illogical decision to one person can be a calculated risk for another. For example, buying lottery tickets may seem irresponsible to someone financially stable, but for someone struggling with limited opportunities, it might represent their only hope for a better future. Understanding others' financial decisions is crucial, as it helps you make decisions that are tailored to your unique situation rather than trying to copy others' strategies. Lesson 4. Peekaboo. Introduces the concept of black swans. Unpredictable events that can have major consequences, such as market crashes or global pandemics. Housel argues that instead of trying to predict these events, it's better to prepare for the unexpected. Having a flexible and resilient financial strategy allows you to navigate through crises with a clearer mindset, For instance, if you invested in the S&P 500 and missed out on just a few of the market's best performing days, your returns could be drastically lower. The lesson here is that preparation and mental resilience are more important than trying to predict every major event. Finally, Lesson 5. The Seduction of Pessimism explores how our brains are hardwired to focus more on negative news than positive developments. People are naturally drawn to pessimism, especially in financial markets. However, Housel reminds us that optimism plays an equally important role in our financial outlook. Progress often happens gradually, and positive changes, like the rise of sustainable energy or advancements in technology, may seem less dramatic than the threats that we fear. But it's important to recognize that long-term optimism can lead to substantial financial gains, while constant pessimism can hinder our decision-making process. The core takeaway from 6, The Psychology of Money, is that financial success is more about managing your emotions, understanding your biases, and developing a long-term perspective rather than relying solely on technical expertise or trying to predict short-term trends. By embracing these lessons and applying them to our own financial journeys, we can avoid the common pitfalls that many investors face. Whether you are just starting your investment journey or you've been investing for years, understanding the psychological aspects of money is crucial for achieving long-term financial freedom and peace of mind. In conclusion, Housel's book is not just about numbers or formulas. It's about understanding human behavior in the context of money. By practicing patience, learning when to step back, and accepting the unpredictability of the market, we can all become better stewards of our finances. Conclusion: The Psychology of Money and the Path to Financial Success. In The Psychology of Money, Morgan Housel presents a refreshing perspective on how our behaviors and emotional responses to money play a far more crucial role in achieving financial success than we often realize. Instead of focusing on complex financial theories or trying to predict market movements, Housel emphasizes the importance of understanding human behavior and its impact on financial decisions. His insights are a wake-up call for anyone who believes that success in finance is solely about intelligence or raw information. One of the key messages from Housel's book is that financial success is less about what you know and more about how you behave with money. While knowledge is undoubtedly important, it's the ability to make sound decisions, remain calm during market downturns, and avoid the trap of comparison that ultimately determines your financial outcomes. These are the soft skills that House encourages readers to master, skills like patience, emotional control, and resilience. For instance, in Lesson 1, Pay the Price, Housel teaches us that investing, while incredibly rewarding, comes with inevitable volatility. He reminds us that long-term wealth is built by enduring these fluctuations, not by avoiding them. It's about sticking to your strategy, even when the market drops or when others around you panic. Patience and persistence are two pillars of financial success. In Lesson 2, Never Enough, Housel warns us of the dangers of envy and constant comparison. In today's social media-driven world, it's easy to fall into the trap of always measuring ourselves against others. Whether it's someone with a bigger house or a higher-paying job, comparing yourself to others can lead to unnecessary stress and financial mistakes. Instead, Housel advocates for knowing when enough is enough and learning to appreciate the financial stability you've already achieved. Housel also encourages us to recognize that 8 different perspectives on money can lead to drastically different financial decisions. What seems illogical to one person might be a perfectly rational choice for someone else. By understanding and embracing these differences, we can make higher, better investment choices that align with our unique goals and circumstances. As we wrap up the lessons from Housel's book, the main takeaway is that preparation, resilience, and emotional control are the key to financial success. The market will always be unpredictable, and life will throw challenges our way. But by preparing mentally and financially, we can weather any storm. If you're serious about improving your financial literacy and learning more about how to make better money decisions, Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We dive deeper into the psychology of money, offer practical tips on investing, and help you build a mindset that can weather market fluctuations. Hit the subscribe button now and join us on the path to financial freedom. Stay tuned for more content on how to navigate your personal finances, build long-term wealth, and develop the right mindset to succeed financially. Let's start this journey together.